Good morning. Happy Sabbath. Welcome to our Chinese SDA church. Okay, I'd like to talk about a topic which is quite an important topic. It's about research which I done long time ago, long story, in 2008 with Bristol University. At that time, we are studying about the people who try to commit suicide. We call it deliberate self-harm. And look at the number of people who get admitted to hospital due to suicide for many causes. That's in 2008. At that time, there were about 17,000 people who commit suicide in England and Wales. Okay, and then we noticed that 8% of them who were being discharged came back to commit suicide again. And then as a result of that, we published paper for this. And what we noticed is we need to do something about this, okay? And we noticed that hospital care is not enough to take care of people who commit suicide, okay? So we need the help of the social care, of the local authorities. So after we published the paper, the government looked into it and they published a social and health bill where the healthcare and the local authority work together. So now you see there's a plan to combat suicide in UK. There's a local authority plan on this, in which they write a report every month. How are they progressing with this? How to reduce the number of suicides in UK? Okay, so that will give you the background to the story that I'm going to tell. All right. Okay, my topic today is God's love in action, successful relationships. So this is the outline. I'll give you an introduction why we are doing this topic, and then 5 steps in successful relationships, and 10 relationship needs, and then we have a summary. Okay. First, we like to look at the percentage of people who ended up in divorce. So as you see, the rate is about 40% of the people who end up in divorce. And today I checked, in Hong Kong it's also about 40%, in China also about 40%. And it has been increasing. In Hong Kong, in 1981, it's about 17%, and now it's gone up to 40% now. So it's actually, this thing is going up, the divorce rate going up, and in many parts of the world that, this is happening. When I was young, I have a very simple thought that, Christians, when they get married, they don't get divorced, which was, not true. Because when I saw my friends who are Christians, Adventists, then after a few years I went back, I found that they are divorced. And, I think it's quite a big concern, even among Christians. Divorce also happens in Christian families. So it's something we should take care of, try to reduce, divorce in the family. So as you look, it plateaus off. First few years, the rate is higher, and then it goes down. Okay. And then this statistic is in UK, England and Wales. Okay. How do people commit suicide? The most common method of committing suicide, you see the top bar, is by hanging. They hang themselves, that's the most common method of suicide in UK. Okay, and other methods are given there. I'm not going to do into that. As part of our research, we find that it's better for the news, people who report the news, not to tell people how they commit suicide. So you'll notice that in most of the recent report, they don't tell you how they commit suicide. Okay. In the past, newspaper used to tell people how they commit suicide, like they jump down from this bridge, that bridge, or they commit suicide by sleeping, or take rat poison, right? Huh? But due to our research, we say that there are some people who read about this article and then they copycat, they copy how they commit suicide. So as part of our advice to people is, you don't tell other people how these people commit suicide so that they don't follow. Yeah? Because in the past, I think in some of the Chinese paper, they say, oh, this method of suicide is so nice, they just smell this and then they just die a peaceful death. So other people say, oh, this is a good idea to do that. So, but as part of this education of the public and the media, we try to control, the suicides that's happening. Okay. So this is in UK, the suicide rates, in 1982, let's say from 20%, it has gone down to 17%. The top one is for the male. The middle one is the combined. The lowest one is for the female. And it's kind of interesting that the amount of male who committed suicide now is about 17%. For female is 7%, half of that. So there's something for us men to learn from the women, right? The women are more successful in life than men. And as you see, the rate has been going down. That means our effort to reduce suicide is successful. At least there's an effort to reduce suicide. In UK, with the health and the government. These are the age-specific suicide rates based on different age. What I want you to notice is the dark line, which is the 45 to 64 years, the one that's going up, the dark line. Okay. And what is interesting when you look at that is, in the early days, the people who commit suicide are for the 75 years and older in the 1980s. But now, it's a younger age group. So, the stress of life has changed. So, it's very interesting when you look at that. People commit suicide are different for different reasons now. And then these are for the females. This one is the male, and now it's the female. It's almost the same thing for the same age group. Actually, all this, if you have time, it tell you a story, okay, but I can't tell you everything. But just in brief, give you some idea what's going on. And then these are the suicide rates in England. The darker color are those with higher suicide. The lighter colors are those with less suicides. Okay. You notice that the north is darker. So you have the north-south divide. Okay. We talk about reasons later. And notice that the east is lighter than the west, right? Okay. So we call that the east-west divide also. Okay. And when you come to think, right, why is that so? And I think all of us know, right, in the north is less people, harder to find jobs, colder, and life is somewhat tougher in the north and in the west. And in the southeast, what is interesting is the London. London is the lowest rate, 6.6. Because it's very concentrated, a lot of people are there, and there are more work there going on. So that is, if you want to choose where to live, probably you like to live where. That is fine. My wife is planning something. Okay, so probably the best place to live in London, according to this map, is London, isn't it? Yeah, agree? Okay, next. Okay, next story I want to tell you is the story of the prodigal son. I think I told you before. You know, uh, one of the basic problem in human life, is relationships. When you have broken relationships, when things don't go well, and then you feel that there's no hope, and then you commit suicide. You know, and so and sometimes when people commit something very wrong, they think that not, they can't do anything, you know, and that's where things go wrong. But in the story of the prodigal son, he knows that he has done a very bad thing. He has taken his father's property and money and go away, waste it, and then he go back to his father. See, what I want to deal with is how do we deal with people who come back to us, prodigal son, or people who have problems. You know, all these problems are quite similar. Okay, like people who commit suicide, the problem is maybe they feel alone, aloneness, and they feel they have no one to turn to for help. Or they struggle, or they have uh, uh, I call a problem with family. You have divorce in the family, or problem with children and all that. But there's always a very fundamental thing we can do. Okay. But of course now I cannot tell you about simple thing like, oh, you have lots of money and all that. You put that aside because those are very simple things. What is more important is your relationships. That's why I'm concentrating on this thing called relationship for today. And I hope that today you will learn more about this and try to help those that are in need, especially those people who are prone to suicides, and or people uh, who need to come back to us, but if they are in the wrong, and we know that they are in the wrong, but how we can bring them back to us, to welcome them back, so that they feel accepted, and reduce all these unhappy things that's happening. And I like you all to participate in this, help to reduce and make this place a happy place, a better world for each one of us. So how would the father welcome his son when his son comes back? Will he scold his son? Oh, you're a bad son. Huh? Why you do this? Why you do this? Why would the son want his father to do that? You know, the thing is, that the son when he go back, he know that it's wrong. You know, 你知錯啦, so you know that. See, so you don't have to drill to him that he has done wrong. What he wants to hear is, that you forgive him, you welcome him back. This is the first thing we have to do. You don't tell people, oh, you're wrong. I told you, you should not be drinking, you should not be gambling, you, you should not mix with these friends, you should not do this. No, don't do this. Okay? So you see my message today is a little different. Yes, on the other side, you try to be on the more welcoming side, to bring them in first. First thing to do is to build bridges, relationship bridges, not to raise barriers. They say, oh, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. So that's very important. Okay. So now we do that. It's very simple. Let's start with number one. God loves us, and that's very important. All the love come from God. God fills us with love, then we can give love to others. Okay? In John 3:16, God so loved us that He gave us His Son. So that is the first thing you must remember. Okay. Next is Jesus' command to us is to love each other as I have loved you. So we have a command from Jesus to love others. It's not say, oh, would you please love others? No. Jesus tells us to go and love. You know, it doesn't. It says that go and love, regardless how the other person is. You know, if the other person is in the wrong or is very bad to you, we still continue to love them. Of course, we love those who still love us. I'm talking about all the extremes. We still continue to love them. Okay. And let's go to number 2, 5 steps in successful relationships. The 5 steps are very simple. First, you build relationship based on real love. It takes a lot of time and effort to do this. It takes sacrifice to do this, but you do it based on real love for the other person. Number 2, accept each other's faults and imperfections. No one is perfect, because some of us has very bad habits or bad customs. It's very hard to change some things, right? So we first need to accept the other person, and maybe later on, if the person is willing to listen, they may change later on. But accept the other person first. Number 3 is to listen to each other. Listening is very important. There's something called passive listening and active listening. What I'm emphasizing is active listening. You listen with your eyes, with your ears, with your heart, and try to listen deeply, and try to listen to the hidden meaning behind what they say. Sometimes they say, oh, I don't want to go. It means they want to go. I do not know if you understand what I mean, So sometimes you have to listen to, all these hidden thoughts, which you're talking about. Sometimes they talk about something, they want you to notice something else. So, it takes some skill to build this thing up, but listening is very important. So it's good if you can, for couples, husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, to take a walk in the park, and then talk to each other with no distraction. Set aside a fixed time each day, to do this. It's like an appointment. Let's say I fix aside 15 minutes, just to talk, about how is my day today, what have I done, what are my worries, what do I like to do best. Spend time to talk about this. What are your worries, and at least keep up to date what is going on. It helps to help each other, so that you don't get a sudden bombshell. Oh, I don't like you, I want a divorce. The next day. You understand what I mean? So if you keep in touch, at least you know what is going on. Then you can prevent all these things from happening. Number 4 is very difficult. It's called forgive often, because we tend to make mistakes, and sometimes we make the same mistakes over and over again. So we need to forgive often. Forgiving is very difficult, to be honest. It means that you give up your right to be angry, with the other person. But forgiveness, if you keep within yourself, it increases bitterness. You actually make yourself worse. So it's important to forgive. The interesting thing about this is, you're angry with someone, right? But the other person do not know you're angry with them. You understand what I mean? So actually, you're actually the one who is suffering, not the other person. So actually, you're not doing yourself a service by doing that. So it's better to forgive and let go. Okay, and then it makes life better for yourself. Because you let go of the bitterness. Okay. The last point is hug more. Hug each other more, touch each other more. When we hug each other, there's a chemical called oxytocin. The oxytocin will increase. Oxytocin is like we call it a happy hormone, right? Yeah. It will release your stress and lower your blood pressure. So you do happy things together, that will be good. So it's very simple, just these 5 steps. But it takes a lifetime to master all these things. Next, I shall talk about 10 relational needs, which is about what the thing we can do, as part of love and how to do it. Okay, because people say love, 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 how to actually love, right? So we just talk about the 10 things to look out for. So first thing, we must manage the anxiety that a person has. Okay. And then, since we are channels of God's love to those around us, we need to deeply listen to others. We are here on this earth to take away aloneness. Remember in Genesis, when God created man, He said it's not good for man to be alone. Yeah. So God already knows aloneness is a problem. Yeah. So we are here, to help our family and friends experience more of our love to our relationships with them. Okay, what are the 10 relationship needs? Very simple, it's all listed there. Okay, you have seen that, thank you. Next. It's the same slide, don't worry. Just for tidiness, I put. Okay, so you have love against aloneness, comfort against people who are being judged or hurtful. So if people feel rejected, you accept them. If they feel abused, you give them affection. If they're being criticized, you give them appreciation. Yeah? If they're being ignored, you give them attention. If they feel ashamed, you give them respect. If they feel discouraged, you encourage them. It's simple, right? If you give them more secure. If they are being let down, you make them feel special. If they feel abandoned, you give them support. Okay, it's very simple, but we need to think about this, when we think about other people around us. Why did I talk about aloneness? Is because it's very unlikely for a person to commit suicide if he's with someone. See, most of the people who commit suicide is when they are alone, So when a person is alone, the mind, think of nonsense, you know what I mean? Think of all this, oh, it's hopeless, this and that, But when a person with someone, then the chance of suicide is very low. Okay? So in your work, in your school, in your church, or wherever, if you notice that someone is alone, please spend time to be friends with them. You may prevent someone from committing suicide. And being friends is one of the strategy, to reduce all these things from happening. Okay, so our little friends, our 小朋友 make friends. That's very good. Make more friends. That's very important. Okay. And let's go on to the next one. So what I do is very simple. I just find some Bible texts to go with each one of them. Okay, but of course you can find more Bible verses to go with all these things. Okay. Comforting is Romans 12:15. It says, "Rejoice with those who rejoice, mourn with those who mourn." Comforting each other. One thing, this is two ways. Sometimes we need comfort. Sometimes the other person needs comfort, right? So I will always talk in this. If you need comfort, what you do, or you give comfort, what you do. Okay. So this is what you say. Okay, when I'm sad, sick, or have a difficult day, you tell the other person. The kinds of comfort I enjoy are hugs, talking, favorite food, walk, distraction. Be clear what you want. Tell the other person what you need. Okay? Or you can say, I had such a hard day. It would be lovely if you would do this for me. Yeah. That's what my wife like to say. You know, if she like me to do something, she do that. You know, the thing is good to tell people exactly what you want because sometimes men don't know what you want, or the woman don't know what you want. So it's good to be clear what you want. What your needs are. Be more clear, then your needs will be fulfilled more easily. You know what I mean? If you want flowers, you say I want flowers. If you want to go for a meal, say you want a good meal. Just say that. Or you say, oh, I want to go for a holiday. Just say I want to go for a holiday. But who knows your wish may be fulfilled? You know what I mean? Okay, simple, right? Okay, acceptance. Accept one another just as Christ accepted you in order to bring praise to God. Romans 15:7. Okay, everyone likes to feel accepted, in the family, in the society, in the church. And this is what you can say if you need acceptance. I most need acceptance when you do this for me. Okay, when you accept me, even when I mess up, I feel dot dot dot. Okay, or you can say, I know I messed up and I did something terribly wrong, but I need to know that you still love me. Yeah. You admit that you are wrong and tell the other person, oh, this is what I need from you. I need to know that you still love me. I want to know that I've been accepted. Okay. So these are the words you can use. Okay. When you did this, I felt especially loved by you. Okay. Or you can tell the other partner, the kind of affection I enjoy most from you are hugs, kind words, thoughtful gifts. Just say what you want. Or maybe you can say something very simple. I could really use a hug now. Please hold me. Because sometimes you are so frustrated from work, right? And then you do not know what to do and just want someone to, hug you for that day. And that is very important. So we need to show affection, kindness, and caring to each other. And there's a verse here. I thank God every time I remember you. Philippians 1 verse 13. So we need to be appreciative of what people have done for us. Simple things like we are thankful for Michael to set up everything, set up the microphone and all that, PA system and all that. Thank you to Pin for translations, and be appreciative of the people who are around you. And one Japanese custom I like is when before they eat, they say thank you for the food. You know that, right? Huh? Before they eat, thank the person who cooked the food, before they eat. So we learn to be thankful, be appreciative. And that goes for the children too. The children must learn to thank their parents for what they do for them. Thank you for the food. Thank you for this and that. They must learn to show thanks, to show appreciation. So how to say appreciation? Say something appreciative to the person you are with, your friend or your spouse. Or you can say, I really appreciate when you do this for me. When you buy a flower, when you give me a present. You can say, thank you so much for coming today. Thank you so much for cooking this lovely meal for me. Learn to show appreciation. And and the person who is being appreciated feel happy, feel happy about the whole thing. So it's very important. Next is attention, give attention. So Philippians 2 verse 4, it says, not looking to your own interest, but each of you to the interest of others. Sometimes we have to pay attention to what the other person needs, and then get what they need. Okay? Like maybe if your father has a very old phone, old mobile phone, you can get a new mobile phone for him that's faster. Something like that. There are many things. If you notice what they need, you can pay attention and help them in what they need. Okay. These are some things you can do. Listen to each other tell a short story about one of the happiest moments in their life, maybe for the last week or month. Ask them to share with you. And then when they tell you, you give them eye contact. You don't look elsewhere or don't look at a mobile phone. You give them full eye contact. After you listen, you sum up what they say and show them that you are actually listening to what they say. It does help. Although it is time consuming, it shows the person that you are listening attentively, that you really understood what they tell you. So if the couples can practice this can actually help to strengthen your relationships. So another thing is, if the other partner is not paying attention, this is what you say. Hey, you need to know that you're really listening to me now. Can you please put down your phone for a minute? So, if this is what you do, what you tell the other person. So the other person, okay, I put down, pay attention to you. If you need attention, this is what you have to do. So I'm teaching the girls and the men what to do, okay? So you just pay attention. So it's the woman who felt that man is not talking, right? Sometimes, right? So if you want attention, you make sure you catch his attention this way, okay? I really need you to know, and then he will listen to you, pay attention, and that's very important. Next is respect. Honor one another above yourself. Men like to feel respected. Okay? Parents also want to feel respected. So it's important for the woman to give respect to the man. Respect for what he has done, to provide for the home, to provide a roof over your head, and the sacrifice he made to provide for the family. And that's one. One thing parents should know is you do not need your child to respect you to respect yourself. You understand that? Okay. Sometimes your children don't understand anything. They say something very rude to the parents. You know what I mean? And then the parents feel insulted, right? You understand what I mean? Okay. But the thing is, we don't need the children to tell us to respect ourselves. Who is the parent here? Who is the big fella here? 谁是大人? You don't need the little one to tell you, that you're bad or what. You don't need. So remember, you are an adult. But the most important thing is God love us, God respect us, and God give us respect. You see, and we get that from God. And if the children don't show us respect, we need to teach them to show us respect. You need to explain to them, what is going on. Maybe the struggles you go through, to give them, what they have now. See, why you have to work overtime, so that, you can provide for their education, and needs, and house. Because sometimes they say, oh, you don't have time for me, keep working, you're not at home. Sometimes you need to explain to them what you're doing for them, so that they understand you better and learn to respect and appreciate for what you have done. Yeah, these are some of the ideas you can try. One way that I especially like to be shown respect is, this is what you want to tell the other person, how you want to be respected. And sometimes you find that the other person is not respecting you, not keep talking, say this and that, do a lot of things. And then you say, oh, I have an idea. I'd like to tell you some of my ideas too. Share what you have to say about a certain decision or what you want to do. This is also important. Next is encouragement. 1 Thessalonians 5:11 says, encourage one another and build each other up, just as in fact you are doing. So we are supposed to encourage each other, in whatever they do. Tell them, oh, 你做得很好，你做得很棒. Okay. Then next is security. People like to feel secure. And we know that we have basic needs, like food, shelter, and all this. So security can be, people feel secure when they don't have a roof over their head, they don't have food to eat, or they don't have enough money. So we need to try to give them more security by providing their needs, like for food. Maybe they need a bit of money, provide them money, things like that. So in 1 John 4:18 says, perfect love casts out fear. So you practice love, you provide for them, you should remove this fear for them. Make them feel more safe, less worried. Or like if you're a bit worried about something, you tell your friend or your partner about this. Oh, I'm a bit worried about so and so what it's doing. And you just tell people that so that you can share your worries. Or maybe you want to find out what the person's need exactly. You ask, what can I do to help you? Next is this is actually about approval. I'm so glad you are my friend. Mark 1 verse 11 is voice come from God when Jesus was being baptized. You are my son whom I love, with whom I'm well pleased. As parents, we need to approve of our children. So we need to, tell our children, I'm very happy with you. Like, I'm very happy with you. Very happy with their success, with what they have done in their life. If they get a new job, they get a share you. You know what I mean? You show that you approve, you are pleased with them. And people need to feel that too. Next is support, bear each other's burdens. Almost same thing like comfort. So we need to share, what we are doing, our workload, things like that. Okay, how to support? Ask your friend what you can do, practically to help them with their to-do list this week, or maybe today, or maybe work together with them, on a challenging task. Okay? But sometimes, if you are struggling, especially for a housewife, who are so busy at home to do all the housework, feel overwhelmed. You can say, oh, I'm struggling with this. Please, can you help me? So that you have some time for yourself to rest for a while and to recuperate. My wife pointing fingers at me. Okay, right. So to sum up and to think about, what are your top 3 needs? What do you think are your needs? And I think I give you some examples on how to express your needs to the other person, if you want to express your needs. Okay. And also, I also tell you how you can try to ask, what are your needs, for the other person. So if we can do this, do you think we can resolve these problems we have? I mentioned the aloneness problem we have, the relationship problems we have, the communication problems between husband and wives. Yeah, it will help to reduce this. Not say 100%, but it does help. Yeah, if we put in enough time, energy, in what we think is valuable, in what is important in our lives, we will definitely succeed. But of course, we need to ask God, for help. Ask God for love, to fill us first, so that we can, give it to others. So that's my summary for today. We covered 5 steps, 10 relationships, and summary. And in relationships, we need to meet each other's needs and let other persons meet our own needs. So love listens to the needs behind the behaviors and words that are being spoken. So we need to pay attention. Very simple. And this is my prayer, that your love may abound more and more, in actions. And now we can turn to Philippians 1, verse 9 to 11. So that you increase in knowledge, depth of insight, you may be able to discern what is best, may be pure and blameless until Jesus comes again. Fill you with fruit of righteousness that comes through Jesus Christ. I mean, this is a very artist form of the words, but it's quite nicely put. Okay. So that is my message for today. And I invite you all to join us in this effort to make this world a happy place. Now you know all the 5 steps, the 10 needs. I'm sure all of you will be much more prepared than now to be a better person. Also, maybe you can teach the other person to be a better person. Thank you very much.
耶稣的爱激励我，敞开我的生命，让自己成为别人祝福。耶稣的爱点燃我心中熊熊爱火，我们一起向世界播出爱。
永
生